Hell yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Right, Corey Johnson back at you. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, is at the controls. We were just discussing jinxes. He doesn't believe in them like me, but he respects people that do. And I said, I don't. It's not that I don't respect the people, I don't respect them. Having like a jinx, and I'm supposed to all right, man. Like if you're over at my house, we're having like dinner and someone's like, man, don't bring up politics. Mario Brothers doesn't like it. I would probably stay away from it. But if it was like jinxes, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to bend around jinxes for Mario Brothers. Sorry.
Fair.
Hey, bring in the dessert first and then bring in the water. Mario doesn't like it if you go, well, Mario's screwed on that one, But yeah, I respect people for like beliefs, but jinxes kind of goes into that kind of fantasy land category. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, at the controls, fielding your phone calls. That's a long name you got, dude. Your parents should have worked on that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not even either of my last names.
What do you think? Should we name him William? No. Let's name him AKX, Latinx, a.k.a. Mario Brothers, fielding your phone calls, running the controls.
Beautiful.
No, honey, it's running the controls and fielding your phone calls. Oh, boy. Wow. 766-9480. We're going to work on a new name like Lee. It's just like 3 letters. Some Al, 2 letters, something quick. 766-9480. But right now, it's Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, at the controls, fielding your phone calls. Junior, believe it or not. His father was named that. It's a long story. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Do you believe in jinxes and the like? If I'm playing like a sport, Mario Brothers, yeah, I might, and things are going well. I don't mess with like whatever's going on.
That's kind of more what I was getting at.
Hey, let me untuck my shirt. Just leave everything like it is.
Or if the Saints have won 5 straight games and you wear the same hat every time, like
no,
I'm probably going to try to wear the same hat again.
No, I'm not wearing the same hat. That has nothing. That's beyond my control, Mario Brothers. I was saying if I were playing a sport.
Okay, I feel you.
I got to keep my own vibe going. It's beyond my control. I told you, I call my buddies like second quarter. Dude, you got this game in the bag. And they got like $100 on the game. Like, dude, they just hang up on me. You're jinxing it. Really? So now the jinx controller would be God, right?
I guess, or whatever higher power.
So
yeah.
he's focused on these bets and games, is what you're saying.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you're God, baby. Mine is not. He's just like, that's frivolous nonsense. I'm not going to pay attention to that. And then why would he help like Jimmy out in Phoenix and not Daryl in Buffalo? I don't know.
There are holes in the theory.
Huh?
There are some holes in the theory.
There's a lot of holes in that theory.
But when it works, it works.
But, you like shooting hoops and you clinching that rabbit's foot tight the whole time and you're draining threes. I'm not going to tell you to put the rabbit's foot down. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Mother's Day, 2 weeks from yesterday, a week from this Sunday, 13 days away. Mother's Day, a week from this Sunday, May 11th. Are you kidding me? Boom, boom, boom. We're almost halfway through 2025, fading into May later this week. Es Loco, 766-9480 is how you dial us up. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away, just in times for you to get your shrimps down in the quarters, just in time for Mother's Day. I'm pluraling today. 766-9480. LSU has had 2 overall first picks in the first round, like the first overall pick in the NFL draft, 2 times. Mario Brothers, do you know them? Don't answer. You're not eligible for the $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. But LSU has had 2 overall first picks in the NFL draft. 2 times. Name them, Tiger fans, as the NFL draft has come and gone. 766-9480. Hey, Mario Brothers, real quick, you follow sports closely. I'd say the Saints picked up like 4 starters in that draft, right?
Yes, I like the first pick.
That's your starter, offensive tackle, and then you got a starting quarterback.
Potentially.
Yeah, I mean, who else is starting at QB? Rattler, maybe. I doubt it. Probably the Louisville kid who's like older than Rattler.
He may as well be, yeah.
You know, he's like 24 or 25.
He's like a year younger than Hurts, Jalen Hurts, who's been in the league like 5 years.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's one of those 19-year eligibility players because of Corona. He got 19 extra years because of Corona.
Basically.
So, and then let's see, you got of the next few picks. I remember that linebacker from Oklahoma, Tulane, playing Oklahoma. Google that game. I think he had 20-something plus tackles, if I don't remember. Wasn't that right?
Yes.
Don't you remember that game, Stutzman or whatever? That kid was all over the field. He's just making play after play. I think he had like 22 tackles in the game. Something obnoxious.
Yes. If you watched Oklahoma play, he stood out. I'm trying to pull out the stats of that game right now.
Yeah, Tulane, Oklahoma. I want to say, I mean, that's kind of crazy, but that's why I'm saying it, because it was crazy. It was like 22 tackles.
Danny Stoutsman had 12 total tackles and 6 solo.
Oh, he had 12 and 6, so 18 tackles.
Yeah, next closest guy had 6, so he had double as many tackles.
Okay, I thought he had 12 total, 6 solo.
6 solo. Yep.
Okay, boy, I don't know why I thought it was like 22. But 12 is still pretty strong, double-digit tackles. Yeah, he was all over the field. 766-9480. LSU has had 2 overall first picks in the NFL draft. Who are those players? 766-9480. Why Circle Foods? Why Circle Grocery over there on St. Bernard, where life is hot, hot, hot? Claiborne's and St. Bernard. Why Circle Grocery? Hey, I'm looking for the tallest hill in New Orleans. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Jazz Fest week 1, pretty damn good. Weather cooperating. Weird. Rain by my house in the Carrollton neighborhood a little bit. Not really enough to water the lawn or anything, but wet the street, wet the grass, it rained. No rain at the fairgrounds. That's just fantastic. You got to like that. Jazz Fest weekend 1, weather, bands, music. Everybody seemed to be having a good time. And not so chilly, gentilly, weekend number 2. This Thursday through Sunday. Same kind of weather forecast. Wake up to around 70. It's so nice, like 7 a.m. And then it just heats up quick like a microwave, mid-80s. Maybe rain, maybe not on Friday and Saturday. Who knows? Who knows? New Orleans City Council. Lots of questions, not lots of answers from Junket Cantrell's peeps talking about the French Quarter trash contract. City CAO Gilbert Montagna was there. The infrastructure chief, Joe Threat. Andrew Gregorian, he's a deputy city attorney. He had a funny line. I found it comical. I found it pretty comical. I was going to wait for the break. But why wait for the break? I'll throw it out there. When I was here in November, there was one issue that was outstanding which was the situation with the subcontractor. That issue has been addressed, and I believe it's been addressed to everyone's satisfaction, like one issue. They didn't know if they were going to have trucks with dually axles or not. They didn't know if they were going to have mechanical arms scooping up the trash containers, or was it going to be men doing it? They didn't know who the subcontractor was. They had one issue that was outstanding. Just one on our little check mark list, just one issue. The subcontractor. You know, the people picking up the trash. So ridiculous. We had one issue with the subcontractor. We had one issue with the contractor. Troy Henry didn't have his you-know-what together with Richards, where they were suing each other. You know, it's like, wow, didn't have my you-know-what together when I needed to have my you-know-what together. Council went in another direction. The mayor should let IV waste continue to December. And this fall, like a few months away, like 3-4 months away, they bid on that trash contract again for the 8 years. Instead, the mayor wants to hand it over to Troy Henry August 1st because it's 8 years, $73 million. That's why. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. We'll talk more about that and a slew of other topics. Yeah, you right. Yeah, just one little minor issue, the old subcontractor. Just a small problem with the Saints, the 53-man roster. But when we get that resolved, everything will just be fine. Just one little hiccup. Just one little hiccup. Coming right back on a Monday.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint. Supply. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Not a politician or part of a political machine. Corey Johnson.
I propose that I use what's left of the town treasury to move to a more prosperous town and run for mayor.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
There was money in the town treasury. Yeah, you're right. Welcome back. Monday afternoon, Mother's Day, a week from Sunday. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates. Good at the Woodhouse, the city's premier day spa. There are 5 locations, 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore, Baton Rouge. Dial us up, 766-9480. All you got to do is give me some answers to a few questions. Actually, just one question. Pick your poison. I've got a few questions. Just pick one. LSU has had 2 overall first picks in the NFL draft. Number 1 pick in the draft, 2 times. Name him. Name them. 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, why is it Circle Foods, Circle Grocery over there on St. Bernard Avenue in Claiborne? Why Circle Grocery? 766-9480. Tallest hill in New Orleans. 766-9480. 766-9480. Saquon Barkley catching crap for playing a round of golf with President Donald Trump. Bill Maher catching crap for dining with the president at the White House. I mean, I don't know about you, but if the president of the United States, Democrat, Republican, whatever, invites me to play a round of golf, I think I'm going, aren't you? And it isn't about, no, if I hate that president, I'm not. Then you can try to convince that president of something. I mean, you're with him for 4 hours on the golf course. You're with him for a couple of hours at dinner. Now, I don't fault Bill Maher. Bill Maher is relentless, attacks Donald Trump relentlessly, and not like looking for things, just attacks the obvious. It's pretty funny. Unless you're a big Trump supporter, then you're not going to like Bill Maher. He's liberal. But my God, if you watch Real Time with Bill Maher, the amount of time Bill Maher spends ripping Donald Trump, I would clearly say he spends that much time bashing the extreme left, loony left, woke, calls them what I call them, totally agrees with what I've said, that words, the definition changes. It doesn't mean like aware, just like progressive doesn't mean forward thinking. It means loony left. What you can say you don't agree with it. I think it's wrong, whatever. The Republicans have done a masterful job of making those words, the word liberal, mean like a negative thing. No Democrat on the sign, running for office says a liberal, a true liberal, but conservatives like gold supposedly on the sign, it's like gold. 766-9480. No, I don't get the,
Saquon Barkley probably didn't vote for Donald Trump, probably in a big Donald Trump supporter, and the president asked him to play golf, and that's it. He went. Bill Maher got invited because of Kid Rock and went to the White House and had dinner and was right back on the air ripping the president like he always had and ripping woke and loony left as well. So I don't know. Is there a problem with that? Is Saquon Barkley some kind of sellout for playing a round of golf with the president of the United States who maybe ideology-wise you disagree with? 766-9480. 766-9480. Would a known conservative athlete, would he be a sellout going to play golf or ride bikes with Joe Biden or walk around slow with Joe Biden? Would he be being a sellout? 766-9480. No, it's so funny. Like when you flip it around, like folks that lack empathy, I don't know what group these people go under within the umbrella of conservative Republicans, but those that defend January 6th people and act like January 6th was no big deal. If it were black Democrats or Democrats, those people would be freaking out. They'd be like, they're criminals. Why did Joe Biden pardon all of them? It's sinful. It's unconstitutional. You're having a meltdown. But a lot of folks in America, in the world, I guess, human nature, on Monday they'll say red and on Tuesday they'll say blue. And forget what they said on Monday, like it didn't even happen. And that's what you get with a lot of these January 6th folks. I don't care who it was. A bunch of people attacked the Capitol building. They let them in. I mean, it's like everyone saw the video. There's no way to spin it or manipulate it or change it or whatever. Everyone's seen the video. So it's just sort of silly to keep pushing like some different narrative, like we don't know what went down. No, but people that want to defend that, I think are, blinded. And if it were Democrats or black folks that did it, they'd be losing their you-know-what. I don't have a problem with Saquon Barkley playing around in golf with Donald Trump. I don't have a problem with Bill Maher going to have dinner with Donald Trump. 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, Latinx, a.k.a. Mario Brothers, you don't have time to chat with folks. You've got to get to other calls. You've got duties to do. They either come on the program. You don't have time to chat. We don't screen phone calls. There you go, Mario Brothers, Latinx, handling it professionally.
These callers are killing me. They don't know how answering a trivia question works, apparently.
You got to answer the trivia to get the $50 to the Woodhouse. LSU has had 2 overall first picks in the draft. Who are they? Why Circle Foods? Why Circle Grocery? Another question, another opportunity. Why Circle Foods? Tallest Hill in New Orleans, 766-9480. 766-9480. Shador Sanders, drafted 5th round by Cleveland?
Yes.
A lot of folks freaking out. Just makes no sense to me. Hey, I'm a white guy from the New Orleans, Deep South. Sports to me are like the great equalizer, the best play. The best play. It's like technology. It's never withheld because someone else is thinking about it at the same time. There's never been in the history of mankind. I remember when I was a kid, tires that last forever, 200 mile per gallon carburetors, batteries that last forever. It's all nonsense. The oil companies, the battery companies, they don't want to go out of business. They'll never release this stuff. It's never has that ever been hidden. Never. Same deal. Sports are the great equalizer, the best play. Hard to come up with examples of where the best don't play. Let's head to the phone lines. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Alicia joins us. Where you calling from, Alicia?
I'm calling from New Orleans, actually.
Give me a specific area or neighborhood. I don't need street and address, just sort of general area. Mid-City, Uptown, the East, Gentilly.
Mid-City.
Yeah, you're right, Mid-City. Shout out.
What's happening, Alicia?
Ain't nothing too much. I'm just excited to answer these questions.
You just have to answer one. Pick the one that you know the answer.
Okay, the LSU NFL draft pick.
Come on, wait. Time out, Alicia. Time out. I'm going to throw this out there. You didn't know, but the rule is like no intranet device, no Google or search engines. Does that apply? Did you Google the answer?
I don't know.
You just naturally know this answer, you're telling me.
I asked my daughter. She told me Will Campbell and Mason Taylor.
Will
Am I right?
Will Campbell.
You wrong.
No, that's incorrect, but I like that your daughter threw that out there. And Will Campbell was 4th overall, not first. LSU's had 2 overall number 1s. But Alicia, I like your thinking. I like your daughter participating, and I like your honesty. I'm going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate.
Yeah, you right. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you were honest about it. I thought you knew the answer of this obscure question, and I was like, wow. Alicia, and then I was waiting for, well, my dad was a coach, or I went to LSU and was a big fan or something like that. But
my daughter's actually an LSU student.
Oh, nice. Right now?
Yes. She goes to LSU Medical School, actually.
Wow, nice. Alicia, congratulations. That's incredible.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, LSU, I went to LSU undergrad.
No, you're wrong.
But I went to LSU undergrad, and that's a thumbs up. Like, I was going to give you a thumbs up for your daughter in college, but LSU Medical School, kaboom goes the dynamite. She's special.
Woo!
Am I right?
Thank you.
I don't know. I'm pretty impressed by anyone that can handle medical school. That's for sure.
Same.
I was, Alicia, I was Superman with the ladies at LSU, but that science building and all that was like kryptonite for Superman. I ran away from that.
I don't know how she does it, honestly.
No, I mean, she's got the big brain on Alicia's daughter.
I'm very proud of her, though.
Yeah, you got to be. I don't know how folks do that either. Just the chemistry, the math, all that's just like what?
Yeah.
Biology. I mean, it's just too much. And then the school, it's years of school and then years of residency. No, your daughter's a champ. You earned the $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate, Alicia.
I wouldn't say that. I can't even much take credit for any of what she's accomplished so far because I don't know if I could have done that.
You're her mother.
But I'm very, very proud of her, though.
You're her mother.
I try to support her in every way that I can.
Well, there you go. You got to take some responsibility. That's your daughter. You're her mother. You influenced her. You're the creator. Are you kidding me? Hey, Alicia.
Now, God's the creator.
Yeah, you're right about that. Hang on, Alicia. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. Getting some info from you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Hey, Marigny, Bywater, Tremé, French Quarter, CBD, Warehouse District, Garden District, Irish Channel. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Spread the word every weekday afternoon, 4 to 6 o'clock. 2 big hours of fun. Every weekday, 4 to 6 o'clock on the radio, on television, on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. If you go to CoreyTalks.com. It's got all the info, links, and the like. CoreyTalks.com. Mother's Day, 2 weeks from yesterday. A week from this Sunday, 13 days away, Mother's Day. Don't blow it, guys. Your wife, you have kids. Mother's Day. Take care of mom. Take care of your sister who's a mother. Take care of any female in your life who's a mother. Mother's Day, a week from this Sunday, May 11th. The Woodhouse Day Spa is what she wants, guys. I know some of you are stressed out. What am I going to get? I'm going to get her flowers. They'll be dead in a few days. Well, I'm not against flowers, but they'll be dead in a few days. She'll love the Woodhouse Day Spa, especially if you got a friend and your wife, your girlfriend, and your friend's girlfriend or wives are best friends. They go together. You knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Get them a day of relaxation where they're going together. WoodhouseSpas.com. You can do it all online. Print a gift card, any denomination, any amount of money. WoodhouseSpas.com. I recommend going to one of the 5 locations because in the lobby foyer area, chock full of all kind of goodies that she loves, like candles, bath salts, moisturizers. You get a little bag with that, and then that gift card. Kaboom goes the dynamite. Mother's Day problem solved. A week from this Sunday, May 11th. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Alicia just picked one up because she was sweet because her daughter's so accomplished. And she didn't lie.
You know, I know the answer. I thought she knew the answer. It's like, if she knows the answer to this obscure question, LSU has had 2 overall first picks in the NFL draft. You got to be like a hardcore LSU fan. So that's the next part I was waiting for. That's why I threw out the, did you look on the internet device? Because we don't allow that. No Google, DuckDuckGo, Bing, Yahoo, none of that. No Alta Vista. That's Mario Brother, a.k.a. Latinx's favorite search engine, Alta Vista. LSU has had 2 overall first picks in the NFL draft. Name them. Why is it Circle Food, Circle Grocery over there on St. Bernard and Claiborne? Why Circle? Because Johnny Circle started it in 1922, Corey the Circle family. Tallest hill in New Orleans, 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Yeah, the New Orleans City Council had lots of questions for the city CAO, the city infrastructure chief, the deputy city attorney, the sanitation department director. Lots of questions about the French Quarter trash contract and not lots of answers. No, when you say, God, it makes no sense. No, it makes sense. It's the mayor making sure Troy Henry gets this contract because it's 8 years and $73 million. Now, obviously, the fair thing to do for all parties involved, I have nothing against Troy Henry. He doesn't own any trash trucks or a trash company, which Billy Nungesser thought that was ridiculous. Who else did I have on the program that thought it was absurd? If he wants to sub it out, that's fine. But you better have your you-know-what together. And when the contract was being decided by the council, let's sign off, highest bidder. I mean, a few things. Troy Henry won and then raised it like $500,000. If you remember, Ramelli was like, hey, we only lost by a couple $100,000. Troy Henry raising it, we won. We should have it. So, people forget about Ramelli. They're involved in this. So anyway, Troy Henry, the winner, doesn't have his you-know-what together at that time. I mean, literally, Richards and Troy Henry are suing each other. How can the city go with them? They can't. So they bid out an emergency contract December to December, and Ivy Way Sidney Torres has it. Now the mayor wants to cancel it in 90 days. August 1st, so Troy Henry can take over, and it's 8 years, $73 million, and it's not at the level of what Ivy Waste is doing. Troy Henry says he'll do that level. Sidney Torres is just saying he's doing it and doing it. It's not under the contract for Sidney Torres either. But whatever happens, if it goes to Troy Henry, and I think that's wrong and unfair, it better be at a higher standard. And if it doesn't, yeah, you rebid it in the fall. In December, this emergency contract's up. Someone has to take over in January. Could be Ivy Waste, could be Troy Henry, could be Ramelli, could be ServPro, could be anyone. Richards, Metro. Hell, I might throw out a bid and sub it out. Oh, boy. 766-9480. Let's go to James. Yeah, maybe River Parish Disposal gets the French Quarter contract. That's where they started. How are you, James?
I'm doing fine.
Good. What's going on today? What's on your mind?
Not much. I got the answer for you.
The answer about life and all of its questions?
About the number 1 draft pick.
Oh, how do you know the answer to that?
I'm a big LSU fan.
All right. I mean, the recent one was still, like 15 years ago, right?
Yeah, but I was a big fan of his when he was before he when he was playing for LSU.
Yeah, I don't know how Jamarcus. Oops, well, I'm screwing myself up. Huh? I assume you knew who it was. I don't know how he didn't make it, but he wasn't even close. It's like Ryan Leaf, just not even close. And you want to know who really blew me away that I just thought was going to be a great pro, and I was just so wrong. And I thought Rohan Davey was going to be a good pro.
I thought so too, but LSU, the SEC plays so hard, that their players, are always, getting hurt or something in the NFL. Look at some of Alabama's running backs.
Boy, no, you're right about that. Rohan Davey, his parting press conference after the huge Sugar Bowl win against Illinois.
Yeah,
it was pure class. He's just like, we're just getting. It wasn't about him at all. And I think he won the MVP. I guess the receiver, Josh Reed, was the MVP. Maybe.
Josh Reed, yeah.
But or maybe Rohan was, because Rohan, I think, threw for 500 and something yards, 540. I think broke the SEC record or something. I don't know. But sometimes I get that stuff confused so long ago. But
we all was a fan of Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah, no, of course. But Rohan Davey, it was when LSU had sucked for a while, and it was the early Saban years. And he was like, we've established the program now. It's going to take off. It was nothing about him, all about LSU and LSU football. I was like, listen to this class act. Jeez and Pete's. And I'll never forget that the rest of my life. If I ever saw him again, I would bring that up more than 500 plus yards and all the touchdown passes.
Davey did win MVP, by the way.
Davey was the MVP.
Okay.
How many yards did he have, Mario? Like 540 or something?
Let's see. Yeah, over 500.
Because I butchered the 22 tackles for the linebacker from Oklahoma.
47. He had 444 passing yards.
444.
Yes.
And what was Josh Reed was the primary target?
Yes, Josh Reed had 239 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's just unstoppable. It's ridiculous. Wow. Yeah, that was they kicked that team's rear end. All right, James. So you got one of them by default, Jamarcus Russell. Who's the other one?
Joe Burrow.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you're right. Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for Johnny?
When you said everybody loves Joe Burrow, I was like, all right, I got you. Hey, James, hang on, all right?
All right.
Wow, James, I'm thinking about something right now. I'm going to have to check this. Let me check this real quick while I got you on the line. Yep.
And I think we forgot.
There's another one. The Rams in 1960. You have any idea?
Billy Cannon.
Kaboom goes the dynamite for you, James. Yeah, I'm like, wait, what about Billy Cannon? Because who was the AFL team?
I can't remember.
Bum Phillips coached them. Bum Phillips coached them when they were an NFL team.
Are we talking about the
Warren Moon, run and shoot?
The Oilers.
Yeah, Houston was an AFL team, the Oilers. And they drafted Billy Cannon with the first pick and the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
Anyway, excellent work, James. Hang on, all right?
All right.
Jamarcus Russell, Joe Burrow, and even Billy Cannon. James, nice work. James scooping up 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse just in time for Mother's Day, a week from Sunday. Good job, James. 766-9480 is the phone number. You heard James laughing when I threw out Jamarcus's name. I was like, what?
Yeah. Billy Cannon already has a statue.
Laughing.
Burrow probably going to get a statue. Jamarcus probably not.
No, Jamarcus probably won't. But, statue's big time.
Yeah.
But you better have Jamarcus, like Rohan Davey, recognized.
Yes.
Nick Saban deserves a statue. Les Miles deserves a statue.
Yes.
I mean, Les Miles statistically is the single greatest football coach in LSU history.
Yes.
People don't like that, but that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that situation with him, I'm not trying to downplay any of that. I think a little overblown.
Agreed.
I think a little overblown because LSU is having their own problems. I think trying to load it on to Les's back. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Coming right back.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the Nola Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the Nola Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
You know, if it's a weekday afternoon in New Orleans, it's got to be Corey Johnson.
You know, moving like a gator down Bourbon Street.
The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
You put Paris in the swamp, and that's New Orleans in a nutshell, baby.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Boy, speaking of gators, I was out in New Orleans East yesterday afternoon, just messing around, just out in the East. What was the name of the place? Tokyo Spa on the Chef. Just doing my thing out on the Chef. I wasn't at a place known as Tokyo Massage on the Chef Highway. Anyway, that was Airline Drive, and that was last week. Good night, everyone. No, it was on I-10 in the east, and not one, not two, but 3 alligators, dead on the side of the road. Man, honestly, if you're not going to, 2 things. If you're not going to, and this is just crazy, like, Corey, who are you kidding? It's never going to happen. I think if you got with some hardcore conservation liberal groups, you could make it happen. They literally need to run like a fence buried like a foot in the ground, about 20 feet off the I-10, all the way down the length of the I-10 out in the east, so no creatures can crawl onto the interstate. And more so than, I'm not worrying about an alligator getting hit by a car and dying so much as a wreck caused by the alligator and a 20-car pileup and, death and destruction. And I don't want the alligator getting hit by the car anyway either. That's the gravy lanyap of it. But yeah, I'm more concerned about accidents. And then if you're not going to, if I were like running for mayor, I'd be like those exits to nowhere in the east. I'm going to put them into play. And I'm going to have some like Venetian Isles type community like Lakeshore and Slidell where your backyard's where your boat is in a canal. And you can go right to the lake or to the, to the Gulf, wherever. You're right there. And maybe just a few hundred acres on either side. And then however many acres that is, obviously that developer needs to recreate wetland and marsh somewhere else. So, it's right off the interstate. So I don't really see the harm to the wetland building a few hundred acres on either side at those exits to nowhere. And then going somewhere like Lake Bourne, where it's more of a lagoon than a lake, and shoring up that shoreline or doing something really significant where you're, hey, we took 1,000 acres on this project. We're putting 3,000 back into place somewhere else. You'd have a developer pounce on that. They'd love to develop something off those 2 exits off I-10 where folks would have access to boat access. Are you kidding me? We don't have enough of that. It'd be even more ideal if you had like a road that went some linear road real tight that went like a mile off the interstate to get away from the noise and had your community out there, just like Lakeshore and Slidell. But if you're not going to do that, if you're not ever planning on developing something on those exits to nowhere, the 2 exits past Michoud before Irish Bayou, then do like what a lot of places are doing all around the country. You're funneling in from the marsh the wildlife that wants to cross I-10 to those bridges. And those bridges are covered in grass and trees. And to the predator, to the wildlife, it's just a hill. And it puts them on the other side of the interstate. These are all over the country now, thousands of them, especially like in California and Montana and Wyoming. They're, I forget what they're called, like a nature path or wildlife path, something like that. Like I-5 in Los Angeles has a major one with thousands of cars in the photo and wildlife crossing from one wooded area to another. Instead of running on the interstate, some bobcat and getting killed in 20-car collision and people getting injured and killed. So no, make those like those 2 bridges, have it funnel, the kind of funnels in where the wildlife naturally knows to go if it senses it wants to go north in that Bayou Sauvage wetland instead of trying to cross the interstate. No, vehicles hit those alligators. Could have been major wrecks if you're like swerving out of the way or something like that. And you're talking like 70 plus miles an hour, foggy morning. Can't have wild boar or alligators or raccoons running on the I-10 out in the east. Can't have that. Corey Johnson with you, 766-9480, 766-9480. Young's Dry Cleaning's been with you since 1940, 85 years of excellence. If you're tired of your dry cleaner and you simply want to experience the best, youngsdrycleaning.com, youngsdrycleaning.com, a New Orleans institution. Got a lot coming your way in the 5 o'clock power hour. Got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away just in time for Mother's Day, which is a week from this Sunday. Perfect gift, guys.
For your mother, the mother in your life could be your mom, your wife, sister, aunt, whatever. Any female in your life with kids is a mother. No, they want to go to the Woodhouse Day Spa, 5 area locations. Tighten them up. Jazz Fest week 1 in the books. Weekend 2 coming your way Thursday. New Orleans City Council. I'll fill you in on this at the top of the hour. Lots of questions about the French Quarter trash contract, and Junket Cantrell sent her CAO, the infrastructure chief, the city deputy attorney, sanitation department director. Not a lot of answers. Not a lot of answers. A spill in Plaquemine Parish, Garden Island Bay, oil release. Cleanup continues. Amazing. Speaking of Plaquemine, Governor Landry is going to let the Mid-Barataria Sediment Diversion Project just go away. We're already $500 million into that project. $500 million. It's a $3 billion project. It's the cornerstone of our coastal redevelopment. 20 years of studies, so many hurdles, the Army Corps bureaucracy, bipartisan support in Louisiana, Democrats and Republicans, Democrat and Republican governors. And now it's going away. Mind-blowing. No, we cut off our nose to spite our face, and we like it. We like it. Blue boy, you got a big nose, buddy. You're a basset hound. Do not cut it off. And you got bigger ears, buddy. Big old ears. What? You high five? You want me to give you a high five? Oh, 5 o'clock power hour next. Thanks, Blue boy.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at Nola Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Ford F-150, number one seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Oh, yeah, here we go. 5 o'clock power hour on a Monday afternoon. Post Jazz Fest Weekend 1. 3 days away from Jazz Fest Weekend number 2, 11 a.m. Thursday morning. Mother's Day, my goodness, a week from Sunday. Before we talk about Mother's Day, it's Drew Brees, live from San Diego, California. All right, maybe that wasn't live. Recorded from San Diego? Hell, I don't even know where he did that. That was by the Dome or an away game. Who knows? Yeah, Mother's Day, 2 weeks from yesterday, 13 days away from today, a week from this Sunday. How many ways can I say it? Mother's Day, May 11th. Don't blow it, fellas. Get her what she wants. The mother in your life could be your wife, your mom, sister, aunt, any female in your life that you love that's a mother. Tighten them up May 11th, Mother's Day, with a Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate, like a day of relaxation from the city's premier day spa. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Already gave away one. LSU has had 3 overall first-round picks. For the first pick in the draft, I should say. First overall pick. We got an answer for that one. Hey, Circle Grocery over there on St. Bernard and Claiborne. Why Circle Foods? Why Circle Grocery? Why the name Circle? Well, Corey, it was Bobby Circle family. The Circle family over there, they started a grocery. 1922. 766-9480 if you know the answer why it's Circle Grocery or Circle Foods. 766-9480. Corey, the building circular in shape. 766-9480. Hey, the tallest hill in New Orleans. The tallest hill in New Orleans. And no, Mario Brothers, the pile of BS that the mayor's been spewing is not the tallest hill in New Orleans. It's close. It's 1 foot too short. No one wants to go near that hill. 766-9480 is the phone number. Yeah, Jazz Fest Weekend 1, pretty darn good. Jazz Fest Weekend 2, this Thursday through Sunday. Same weather. Start out every day around 70 and hit the mid-80s. Maybe rain, maybe not on Friday or Saturday. Who knows? Seriously. Maybe, maybe not.
but a little rain predicted right now on Friday and Saturday. Last weekend, there was a little bit of rain predicted. I don't think we had any rain in Gentilly, at least Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Nothing at Jazz Fest. But we had rain yesterday in my neighborhood, the Carrollton neighborhood. You had rain, which makes sense because basically across the river from the Carrollton neighborhood is Avondale and the TPC course. Speaking of the Zurich Classic, record crowds all weekend. But a TV outage, some kind of power outage. I don't know if it's Zurich, 4 kids, the folks that put on the tournament to blame, CBS to blame, Entergy. I have no idea. But I'm watching, at like 1:42 on Golf Channel, and it goes out. Golf Channel goes from the Zurich Classic to some senior tournament in Georgia. And then I'm like, my God, in 18 minutes, CBS coverage picks up. And CBS started with, we're having technical difficulties. And then there was a rain delay, which kind of saved everyone's rear end. When the rain delay went away, boom, back in business. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Derek Carr at a church in Vegas talking about an MRI and his shoulder. Just kind of strange. The NFL, Roger Goodell says 16 international games a year. 16 games in 16 markets. Already, taken over the UK and Germany. Spain, Barcelona. The Saints are supposed to play in Paris in a few years. In Paris, in France. Was it Brazil last year?
Mm-hmm.
Mexico. I think they're waiting on that stadium to get finished for the World Cup, and it'll be NFL ready. It's World Cup and NFL team conversion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what's the Hotspur Stadium in London? Like Wembley's not the NFL stadium. They play games there. They'll play a game at Wembley, but Hotspur is an NFL designed stadium. Now it's designed for the soccer team, but it's got suites and everything for an NFL franchise to be in London. If London were to get an NFL team, they wouldn't play at Wembley. They'd play at that Hotspur Stadium. It's NFL ready. It's NFL ready. Anyway, so I think when Mexico City gets their World Cup stadium, redone, it'll be full of NFL amenities, ready for an NFL team. I think eventually that just seems like a no-brainer. Mexico City's 25 million people. Largest city in the Western Hemisphere, larger population in the metro than New York. So, I mean, you could have 2 NFL teams in Mexico City probably, even though it's Mexico, and they probably both do well. But you definitely could and should have one. Definitely could and should have one. And then London and Berlin, and you could maybe do Barcelona, and then Roger Goodell's talking about going to Asia with some games. The Saints played in Japan about, I'm trying to think, was that a regular season game or a preseason game? I think it was a preseason game. Mario Brothers, do some Googling for us. I'm going to say circa 1992, 93, Saints in Japan. I'm going with 1993. And I want to say it was a preseason game. I might be wrong, though. I might be wrong. But that definitely happened. That was Jim Mora era. But I don't think it was a regular season game. I want to say it was a preseason game.
1993, they played the Eagles in an exhibition game.
Yeah, boom. Yeah, the mind's still working, Mario Brothers.
There you go.
You weren't even alive back then, dude.
I was just a cell somewhere.
Yep. Not even alive, really?
No.
I was just guessing.
I was born in 94. You're right.
Wow. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, was not alive for the Saints in Japan game. I was working in the radio television business, Mario Brothers. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, good for you.
Exactly. Who cares? Hey, Audubon Gutters, you should care. If you own a home or business and you need gutters, Audubon Gutters, no brainer. Why else would you consider going anywhere else? New Orleans' own Audubon Gutters, nearly 35 years, longer than Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, has been around. Audubon Gutters, like me on radio and TV. Mario, Audubon Gutters, putting gutters on homes, dude. I care. So don't say it. AudubonGutters.com. They happen to be the Gulf South's largest, most experienced gutter installation company, and that's all they do. You need like paint or roof work, siding, construction, windows. That's not what Audubon Gutters is about. You need gutters for your home or business, including gutters featuring the Leaf Guard system like I've got at my house. AudubonGutters.com. Monday afternoon, a week from this Sunday, Mother's Day. Let's give away some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates. Why Circle Foods? Why Circle Grocery? Over there on Claiborne and St. Bernard. Why is it called Circle Grocery? On the corner of Claiborne and St. Bernard. Why is it Circle Grocery? 766-9480. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 766-9480. Hey, the tallest hill in New Orleans. 766-9480. Wow, they pulled a submerged car out of the little water hazard on hole number 5 at the Joe Bart Golf Course across from Suno, and there's a body in the car. They don't know how long it's been in that little water hazard. Crazy. The New Orleans City Council, lots of questions, not a lot of answers from Junket Cantrell's folks about the French Quarter trash contract. Now, this one is crazy. This council has to sign off on it, I should say. This one's a no-brainer to me. And I'm just trying to be fair and objective about it. Troy Henry won the bid. He had to sub out the work because he doesn't own a trash company. He got in a feud after winning the bid, got in a public feud with Richards Disposal, his sub. The city council's like, my God, the guy we chose doesn't have his you-know-what together. In a month, the contract starts. In 2 months, we got Bayou Classic, we got Sugar Bowl, we got Super Bowl. We don't have time for this. Then essentially breaking the contract because he gets rid of Richards, he brings in Serve Pro. They're a sub. They don't own any trucks. So the subcontractor is subbing it to another subcontractor who'd have to sub it to someone else. So by this point, the city council says, we need an emergency trash contract. Ivy Waste comes in. They get it from December of last year through December of this year. Mayor Cantrell comes in, cancels that contract, and going back to Troy Henry. I'll fill you in on the details of that and more next.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar. including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint. Supply.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. And it handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. New Orleans talk giant Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
I'll have the entire city of New Orleans
in Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Mother's Day, a week from this Sunday. I've got a couple of $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. On Claiborne and St. Bernard Avenue, you have Circle Grocery, Circle Food Store. Why is it called Circle? 766-9480. Tallest hill in New Orleans. 766-9480. Tallest hill in New Orleans. 766-9480. Yeah, I was mentioning the trash contract, trying to be fair and objective about it. Billy Nungesser was like, why does the city give a contract to someone who doesn't own a trash company or any trucks? And that's Troy Henry, who has to sub it out to someone else. I hear what Billy Nungesser's saying, and I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. And if that were like a rule or something implemented, I probably wouldn't have too much of a problem with it. You go with companies that's what they do for a living. But there's no law against what Troy Henry does. The city had a trash contract with an airport trash cleaning company that they didn't like it. They broke the contract with them. They weren't doing the job right. Troy Henry gets the contract. Doesn't have any janitorial company, but he subbed it out or brought in people, whatever. And supposedly the airport's pretty clean with Troy Henry doing it. So he does a lot of this, doesn't own the thing, but bids on something, wins it, and then subs it out. That was the deal with the trash. But you better have your you-know-what together. Troy Henry obviously didn't have his you-know-what together with Richards. So Troy Henry wins the trash contract for the French Quarter. He has to sub it out to Richards' disposal. The city council and the mayor, the mayor picks it. That's the winner. The city council is probably going to approve that. But then Troy Henry and Richards have a feud. The subcontractor and Troy Henry have a feud publicly. They sue each other. Then Troy Henry essentially is like, I'll jettison Richards, and he goes and hires ServPro as his sub. But ServPro is a sub like Troy Henry. So a subcontractor is subbing it out to another subcontractor who would have to sub it out to a real trash company. So by this time, the city council threw their arms up and said, Troy Henry doesn't have his you-know-what together, which he doesn't. He doesn't have it together. Richards and him are suing each other. And then he has to get another company, and they're not even a trash company. They're a sub as well. So the council says we need an emergency contract. We got Bayou Classic. We got Sugar Bowl. We got Super Bowl coming up. So IV Waste wins this 1 year, December to December contract, December of last year to December of this year. 1 year to clean the quarter. Incidentally, just gravy, lanyap, whatever. They're doing a great job, supposedly, more above and beyond what they're supposed to do. Lebanon Fresh Scent. Everybody in the quarter's happy, blah, 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 blah. In the meantime, Troy Henry appears to have worked things out with Richards and goes back to the mayor now months later and says, hey, we got our you-know-what together. We're ready to go. And the mayor notifies IV Waste that, hey, you've only got 90 days. You're not going through December. You're just going through the end of July. August 1st, Troy Henry, the original winner of the trash contract, will take over. And it's an 8-year, $73 million deal that Troy Henry's going to get. 8 years, $73 million. I think the only fair thing to do is to let IV Waste finish out their contract through December. And a few months before that, August, September this year, you rebid the contract, an 8-year deal to clean the French Quarter and the CBD. Maybe IV Waste wins it. Maybe Troy Henry wins it. Maybe Ramelli. Maybe River Parish Disposal. Maybe ServPro. Who knows? Richards, Metro. Maybe one of these trash haulers wins it. The point is, to be fair to everyone, Troy Henry dropped the ball. He had a feud going when he was supposed to have his you-know-what together. It's supposed to be smooth. No one wants to see that. The city had no choice. Now that Troy Henry's got his you-know-what together, the hell with IV Waste. I mean, think about, it's like the Barataria Diversion Project. $3 billion, all these engineering firms, construction companies, they're buying equipment, they're hiring people. Then we're going to just nix the deal? I'm assuming there's going to be some lawsuits against the state on that. Same thing applies to this. IV Waste, I'm sure they hired more people, maybe bought new equipment and trucks. Who knows? They made an investment for this 1 year, and then it gets nixed like right in the middle. What would be the incentive for someone else to bid on an emergency contract in New Orleans if the life of the contract, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it is, doesn't necessarily hold true, that they could just stop it at any time? And might do exactly that. No, it doesn't send out a good message. But besides all that, it's unfair to IV Waste. They have the contract through December. Let everyone rebid on it. And by the way, when you're rebidding on the contract, it's at the IV Waste level of clean. Power washing the sidewalks every day. All the extra stuff they're doing. Lebanon Fresh Scent or something like it. It's got to be at that level. So that's another problem. Starting July 1st or August 1st, it would be Troy Henry subbing it out to Richards under the terms of the old deal. And Troy Henry says, I'm going to do a better deal than IV Waste. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he does, and maybe in a year or two things get tight and he starts pulling back. Who knows? But the mayor is hell-bent on getting Troy Henry this deal right now, because it's 8 years and it's $73 million. There's a lot of money and time involved. The fair thing to be like, Troy, you won the contract, but you screwed up. You didn't have your you-know-what together with the sub. City had to move in another direction. Hey, come August, come September, we're going to rebid again for 8 years starting in January of 2026. Maybe you get it. Good luck. But that's it. That's it. Had the deal, didn't have his you-know-what together. City council didn't approve it, went in another direction. Months later, now I've got my you-know-what together. It just doesn't work that way. I think the city council's right. IV Waste should have the deal through December. If Troy Henry wins it for the 8 years after, fantastic.
but let it finish out. No, this is politics at its worst. Oliver Thomas is tight with Troy Henry. Oliver Thomas comes on the show and doesn't dog the mayor at all. Avoids votes when it's against the mayor, like doesn't show up to vote. I'll get Oliver back on the show and ask him about that. I'll ask him about the French Quarter contract, why he's sort of quiet about it when everybody else, JP Morrell, Helena Moreno are freaking out about it. Freddie King freaking out about it. I had Freddie King on the program last week. No, it's typical New Orleans politics at its worst. Just do the right thing. Let Ivy Waste finish up, and then everyone else can bid on the deal. It's unreal. But no, get it to Troy Henry now, because it's 8 years and $73 million at stake. Hey, Lebanon's Cafe is open right now. Lebanon's Cafe actually has been open since 11 a.m. They open up every day, 7 days a week at 11 a.m., and they go till 9:30 at night, 7 days a week. Easy to remember. Open 7 days a week. There's no day that they're closed. And they open up at 11 a.m. every morning and go till 9:30 every night. Right by the streetcar barn, lamb chops and shish kebab. Convenient to Uptown, Mid-City, Old Metairie, Old Jefferson via River Road. Lebanon's Cafe tonight for dinner. Dine outside. The weather's fantastic. Weather's great. Hey, TV audience, we're creeping up or down maybe to 5:30, which means we say adios mañana. Or if you have a smart TV, you can keep watching via YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube right now. Smart TV, smartphone, tablet, pad, computer, laptop, wherever. Take the show with you to the gym, the hunting camp, the fishing hole, wherever. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Yeah, Smart TV, you Cox Channel 4 viewers, Spectrum Channel 333 viewers. You can also keep listening, 93.9 FM. See him tomorrow at 4 if you can't do any of that stuff. We seamlessly continue until 6 p.m. Brett Martell from the Associated Press is going to join us. Another Martell Monday. That's about 5 minutes away. Saquon Barkley played 18 holes of golf with President Donald Trump, and he's catching a lot of crap for it. I find it kind of comical. I mean, if the president invited you, you wouldn't go? I don't care if it's Biden or Trump, I'd go. Shedeur Sanders not drafted till the 5th round. A lot of folks on social media, especially, just crying out crazy nonsense. This is real simple. Sports are the great equalizer. There are 32 NFL owners, and they all don't get along. Some of them dislike the other owner a lot. They get along like in a reasonable sense. The NFL is the number one priority, but they also want to beat the other guy's rear end, you know? So if you think Shedeur Sanders wasn't drafted because he's black or he's loud and obnoxious or whatever, there are so many characters that have major issues in the NFL. Black and white players from, spousal abuse, all kind of crap, criminal behavior. They're drafted, they're in the league, and they play. Sports are the great equalizer, the best play. And Shedeur Sanders obviously has a major weakness at quarterback that is universally agreed upon by these NFL teams. But to think they colluded against him, I mean, who was drafted number 1 overall this year? What racial group composes like 75% of the NFL? I believe it's up to a dozen general managers now.
Game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Thoughtful conversation, common sense. Corey Johnson.
With all due respect, Mr. Dennis, I had no idea you'd gotten experimental surgery to have your removed.
Live streaming at CoreyTalks.com.
What was that? Well, I said with all due respect.
That. All due respect. You can pretty much say whatever you like. You know the opposite? I don't know if it's the opposite, but it's like a later comment. If anyone ever says, just saying, 2 things. They're either lying or they insulted you. There's no other version of that.
100%.
It's either lying or insulting you. That's Latinx who said probably so. He's a man of many words. 766-9480. He's manning the controls and fielding your phone calls. Hey, it's getting hot out there. I'm hitting the mid-80s. Your AC better be working right. I'll make it real easy for you. Total maintenance in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, weekday, weekend, holiday, overnight. It doesn't matter. They're there for you. Honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. If you need AC help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. Brett Martell joins us. He's been with the Associated Press for nearly 30 years. It's another Martell Monday. What's happening, Brett?
If I tell you it's not about the money, what's the one thing you can bank on that it's only about?
If you said what again?
I said if I tell you it's not about the money, what's the one thing that you can bank on that it's only about?
The
money.
Yeah, the money, exactly. I know there's a guy on another station and he's promoting some product. And he's like, this is the authentic stuff. I'm like, it's not authentic. You know, who would say, you know, when you're saying that, it's not authentic, you know? But yeah, no, exactly. I'm with you. I'm with you, Brett. Yeah, it's all about the moolah.
You were saying the no disrespect or whatever, right?
Yep.
Yeah. They're about that, and they're about to disrespect you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, no, go ahead.
So that's it. I was just playing off what you had said earlier while I was on hold.
Speaking of showing you the money, the Saints draft. I mean, look, everybody loves the draft all the time. I mean, it's I guess every now and then you get 10% of people that are the opposite. They just hate it no matter who you select. So people are optimistic. There's hope. But trying to be fair and objective about it, Brett, it does look like the Saints had a pretty solid draft. They're a 5-win team. So they need lots of new players, lots of new starters all over the place. And this draft may have produced, about 4 new starters for this team?
Well, if not, then at least 4 or 5 guys who can contribute and be in the rotation. And the way I looked at it is they were, they went in, they kept all 9 picks. They didn't trade any away. They were looking, in many cases, to hit singles. They were looking for positions where they had a lot of confidence in the prospect, and they knew that, that there was a philosophical emphasis on that position, mainly being the offensive line, with Kellen Moore, and he said as much, and he's coming up helping the Eagles win a Super Bowl where they dominated the line of scrimmage. It looks like they started out with a strong top 10 prospect at a position that fits the new coach's philosophy. The second pick, it's the highest pick since 1971 they used on a quarterback. We'll see if it was high enough. He's certainly not a conventional quarterback prospect, having been 7 years in college football with 3 different schools, and some injuries in between, and the COVID shortened season. But he was in the Manning camp. I mean, I talked to Archie Manning about him. People think very highly of him character-wise. He's shown some pretty solid talent, especially last year at Louisville. So we'll have to see how he fits in. But then you go down the line. I mean, in terms of the
real quick, Brett. Before that, the quarterback. What is he like? 24, 25 years old?
He's 25 now.
All right. A lot of folks are like, that's a plus. He's experienced. He's older. He can come in as a 22-year-old, not some 22-year-old, and that the maturity thing and experience might help him. Then the flip side is he would have already made it by now. He would have already been like a, top 10 pick. He's 25. Like, he's already peaked out. There's not a lot more you can show him. There's like kind of 2 sides that people look at, especially the development of a quarterback. And that latter part, are there a lot of examples of guys coming into the NFL at 25 or older that end up making it as a starting quarterback?
Well, the Saints have an example of someone who didn't make it as a starting quarterback, namely Taysom Hill.
Well, I know.
He came in his mid-20s, and obviously he was behind Drew Brees, so they weren't, banking on him to be that. But I think they did look at him as a potential quarterback of the future, and they ended up going in a different direction with him. The versatile, jack of all trades direction, because he was such a good athlete. But I will say, as a starter, his record is above 500.
Oh, he's going to be the starter for the Saints. I mean, who else? You got the O-lineman, the quarterback. I mean, those guys are starting for the Saints. I mean, this kid from Louisville is the Saints starting quarterback come September, right?
I suspect so. You know, I think that Mickey Loomis is really tying himself a knotstring not to eliminate any faint possibility of reconciling with Derek Carr and you know, maybe fixing whatever's been going on so that they might be able to get another year or two out of him. But I mean, that's just typical Mickey Loomis. He's trying to keep all of his options open. But realistically, I would think that the Derek Carr era has ended.
Yep.
And that they're going to move on and try to move on with Tyler Shuck.
Yep. No, at least they have a chance. I mean, this kid will probably start. Maybe you get a Bo Nix, you know, Jaden Daniels type performance out of him. And that's all you can hope for. If that happens, you can get to like 8, 9, 10 wins maybe. But anything less, and this team's under 500. So, no, but I like the draft. That linebacker, I mean, I know you remember the Oklahoma-Tulane game. He had like a dozen tackles in that game. The kid from Oklahoma. You got a safety. You got a corner. I mean, I think out of this group, defensive tackle, I mean, I think out of this group, you could have like 3 or 4 starters come September, Brett. That would be ideal. That's what you want. Not just to start rookies or draft choices, but they won the position. And you get a few more free agents thrown into that mix, and maybe a trade or something, and then you might have something.
Right. I don't know that the safety will start only because, you know, you have, I mean, depending on if they're healthy and how they look, you've got Tyrann Mathieu and Justin Reed, but, you know, he still may end up playing in certain nickel or dime packages. You know, we'll have to see. So, or rotating in a safety and being a contributor early on. And anyway, you need more than 2 because inevitably one of them gets hurt.
The offensive tackle in the first round, the 9th overall pick, Saints didn't move up. Saints didn't move down. They stayed true to that selection, and they grabbed the big tackle out of Texas. This guy looks like a good bookend type of guy, starting right away, and then moving last year's number 1 pick to the other side?
I think it's possible that they will do that. It's also possible that he'll start in his first year as a rookie at guard, and they'll keep the 2 tackles where they are. But I think they're going to work them at different spots and see how to get the best 5 guys out there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But I think that Kellen Moore definitely, you know, he coached a really good offensive line in Dallas several years ago, and he coached a really good one in Philly. He knows what it's supposed to look like. And I think he'll have, you know, some definite ideas about how he wants this line to look by the time we get to September.
Hey, this was Kellen Moore's draft, Brett. You mentioned Mickey Loomis a few minutes ago. This is all Kellen Moore, right? And you know, the front office guys, but Loomis doesn't have any influence on this, really, right?
Well, I don't think that Mickey is really the talent evaluator. I mean, I think he's more of does more of the accounting. You know, I think he's the guy that analyzes, especially when it comes to players they want to cut loose or keep or bring in as free agents. He's the one that analyzes the spreadsheets and tries to match the production with the monetary value and work with the agents and, you know, to make sure he gets a fair number. I mean, I think that's really his strong point. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not really like evaluating kids coming out of college. I mean, I'm sure he over the decades that he's been in the business, he's learned a lot about it, but I think he relies more heavily on the sort of synergy between the scouting department and the coaching staff to find the guys they like and the guys for which they have a vision of how they're going to fit in.
Brett Martell's with us from the Associated Press. Hey, Latrum's been with you for decades and decades. They're in Elmwood for you East Bankers and West Bankers, and they're hiring. Latrum.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrum spelled L-A-I. T-R-A-M. Hey, and they're on the North Shore. They have an I-12 facility. So you North Shore folks, they got a job for you. You don't have to traverse the lake every day. Latrum.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrum spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M. Latrum.com. Brett Martell is with us from the Associated Press. Brett, we're going to knock out a quick break. We're going to come back, get your take on Derek Carr, his comments at this church in Vegas, talking about an MRI and his shoulder, and also Roger Goodell playing more international games, a lot of stuff. Shador Sanders, Brett Martell's with us from the Associated Press. Don't move, New Orleans.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Total Maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, no cool spots. TM-AC.com, no cool spots.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Prepared with experience, depth, knowledge, and a history in the game. Corey Johnson.
Years later, a doctor will tell me that I have an IQ of 48.
I am the smartest man alive!
That's harsh. Hey, Katie's is open for dinner and outdoor dining if you'd like it, Katie's. Plus their brand new patio. So nice. Outdoor dining in this weather, you bet. Katie's in Mid-City, Iberville, corner Tallahassee. I had Scott Craig on Friday. Soft shell crabs. How many, Scott? About 15. Got speckled trout. How many fillets? 14. You're like, get it while it's there. You never know what they're going to have. It's always good, fresh, local Louisiana seafood. As New Orleans as it gets, Katie's in Mid-City. Brett Martell is with us from the Associated Press. Brett, so what's up with this church service in Vegas? Derek Carr talking to the congregation and discussing the shoulder and an MRI.
Well, once again, he's being pretty vague other than mentioning that he has an MRI, but I think every NFL player probably has lots of MRIs. It'd be nice to know, what was the date of the MRI? What does the MRI report say? Right? Nobody knows. The Saints won't discuss it. He won't discuss it. His agent won't discuss it. He was never on the injury report with this injury. In 2023, when he was, on the injury report and had a nation joint issue, and then never missed a single game, and then came back the following year and never missed a game until he had an oblique injury, and then he came back and continued playing, and then he had a hand injury, and then he didn't come back again. So, we're talking about an injury that supposedly occurred in week 3 of the 2023 season, and it never kept him out of a game since then. Now, look, I understand, especially in joints like shoulders, you can have an injury, you can play through it. It can be a little bit degenerative over time. Maybe it would help his long-term prospects as a 34-year-old to have proactive surgery and not try to play through it. And maybe he could lengthen his career all the way through his 30s if he plays at a high level. He's been really erratic with New Orleans so far. He's 10-9 as a starter. And it's not really looking good for him to have any, longevity or extension here. So if anything, it might be in his best interest to have the proactive surgery go on IR, let the Saints start their new Tyler Stuck era, and then either get traded or go into 2026 as a free agent.
Yeah, he's getting $100 million guaranteed, Brett. That's what he's going to end up doing. Surgery's inevitable. That's what all the reports are saying, but they could be wrong because, like you said, we're not getting a lot of info out of the Saints or Derek Carr, but that appears to be what's going on. Although Kellen Moore, you could argue, is now playing the game a little bit. Didn't he publicly say, Derek Carr is our starter?
Well,
Didn't Kellen
said that?
Yeah.
Before this, yeah.
Which I think that's just until we know anything else, and we're going to know something else soon, and Derek Carr will never suit up again for the Saints most likely, and this rookie from Louisville will be starting come September. Wouldn't that be a wise guess?
Yeah.
Hey, Shedeur Sanders, boy, catching a lot of flack. Forget about the social media crap, Brett, unless you want to comment on it. I was more trying to pull the NFL thinking out of you. There are a dozen black general managers, I think, now in the league. The league's like 75% black. I think sports are a great equalizer. The best man or women wins, they play. They start. Shedeur Sanders, I'm assuming, and it's a consensus, not collusion, but a consensus that two things. There's a hole in his game somewhere, and he's more of a developmental quarterback than some guy who's going to start and star right away. And second, there's baggage with him with the old man and maybe his and even Shedeur Sanders' attitude. So what are your comments on that?
This is what I think. I'm not really sure that he has a bad attitude so much as maybe, he had some unfortunate interviews where he didn't come across too well. Maybe he was a little bit aloof or something like that. But you never hear from Colorado that he had a bad attitude. Of course, his father's the coach there.
Yep.
But, he did well at Colorado. Now, look, there's a lot of quarterbacks that do well in college, and it doesn't really translate to the pros right away. And, when you're talking about taking a quarterback in the early rounds, you can't kind of take risks on, whether you're going to get the anomaly who doesn't always sound like the part and look like the part, but ends up being the part.
Yep.
You just can't take that risk. I mean, they exist. Those anomalies exist, and he might be one of them. But if it doesn't work out, it can set your franchise back for years.
Oh, and Brett, just a little while ago, his older brother, the safety, said, I'm not going to let my dad be my agent. He's the agent for both of us, and I'm going with Drew Rosenhaus now. So he dropped his dad, almost like and insinuated, you saw what it did to my brother, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely read that. You could read it that way. Well, look, Deion, there is, he could be a distraction.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you're a player and you're amazingly talented and you're playing defensive back, or you're playing, what was he playing, center field for the Yankees? Like you're one guy on a team and you have your role and you're incredibly talented. And if you're outspoken or whatever, that's fine. I mean, again, as a coach, he's a figurehead. He's a charismatic recruiter. He's done well as a coach. It doesn't mean that, NFL teams don't want to have the coach of Colorado saying in the media that the NFL team is mishandling his son.
No, exactly.
And that's something they're wary of.
No, exactly. And Deion Sanders is very outspoken, and he knows what he's talking about a lot of the time when it comes to pro football. Hey, Brett, always a pleasure. We'll see you next Monday.
All right, take care, Corey.
That's Brett Martell from the Associated Press. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm saying, thanks so much for watching and listening. We'll see you tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
On the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.